Hey, I'm Nick, and today I want to share with you guys something that's helped me a lot when I've been trying to do a lot of things at once and I find myself getting tired. These are just the little things that I find keep me awake, alert, and actually giving myself enough energy to get stuff done. So, first off, what I've mentioned on this channel before is that I wake up pretty early. 5 a.m. every morning. And the reason that that may come to a shock to a lot of people is that a lot of the time when people wake up early, they may notice that it's pretty hard to get moving in the morning. And two things happen when you try to get up early in the morning for most people. And that is you feel like you want to sleep in more. And even if you are out of the bed and trying to be productive in your morning, you may find that you're still really tired. And there's two things that I've done that have really boosted my energy in the mornings. And the first one comes down to the fact that if you get your body used to waking up early at a specific time every morning, what happens is your body clock, your circadian rhythm, whatever you want to call it, but basically your body will start to get used to needing to be awake at that time. But there is this one other thing that I do, and that is, of course, use an alarm. But more importantly, use one that's loud and obnoxious. Now, that may sound pretty frustrating, just saying it blankly, but to dig into it a little more, you need an alarm that's gonna wake you up. It's going to be loud. It's going to get your mind racing and maybe even your heart pumping. And the reason it needs to be obnoxious is that you get your mind racing and all that stuff that I talked about just then. But if it's not obnoxious, then what's the point in getting up, turning the alarm off, and getting on with the rest of your day? That's why if you make your alarm obnoxious, you give yourself a reason to get up, turn the alarm off, and get moving. And to lead off of that, that get moving part is really important. See, another problem that I used to face was that even if I woke up with a jolt, maybe with a little bit of energy, and I actually try to start moving, if I took that second to, let's say, sit back down in bed, maybe thinking that I'll try to conjure up some things to do that morning, or what I usually do, think of stuff to do later in that day. If you take that time to stop moving and sit down, or more specifically, if you take that time to get back to relaxing, that's setting you up one step closer for just falling back to sleep. So what I would normally do is when I've woken up, maybe when I'm feeding my pets or I'm quickly tidying up my room, as I'm doing those small things that don't require a lot of thought and I can just do easily, I can end up using my thought for the stuff that we just said, planning the day and what I want to do. And this isn't just for your mornings, but this can also be for later in the day, maybe after school. If you're tired and you stop moving, you sit down or lay on the floor, which is something that I would sometimes have to do. You get yourself closer to having a rest, falling back to sleep, and spending time not doing anything, which isn't a bad thing if you're getting rest, but if you're like me, you want to keep getting stuff done and staying productive. But like I said before with the morning, if you want to slow down and think about stuff, remember to not be lying down or getting in a position or state of mind that is close to falling back to sleep. Then doing something that requires little brain effort, maybe going for a walk or doing little chores around the house. Doing that while thinking of the other stuff that you want to do is much better than lying down and thinking that you will be brainstorming, but in reality, what I find is I get closer to falling just back to sleep. And as a rule of thumb as well, as you get more tired, you become more susceptible to getting distracted, maybe going off topic if you're trying to look something up, research something, and you may find yourself just looking at stuff, or more specifically, wasting your time. And there's not a lot you can do about that, except for knowing that when you get tired, you're going to need to really stricken up and focus on what you're doing with what I've mentioned before. Think if you're happy to continue spending your time doing this one thing. And that little moment of realization might be enough to realize that you're wasting your time. And of course, that's for everything from the morning till throughout the day. But what I want to focus on now is that if you want to be able to have all this energy, you need to have a proper sleeping schedule and get to bed based on the time that you want to wake up. What I mean by that is if you're going to wake up early, you get to bed early. Now that may be a little tough if you like doing a lot of things later at night. I know that a lot of people do, but if you take that time to yourself more than to everyone else, take that time to get the rest that you need to do the things you want to do. So yeah, that's it for today. Here's some more videos of the channel if you want to check them out. But until then, I'll see you later.